I am Michele Mazelleغ. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to share with you all this video clip and then I'm going to come back and talk about it. So let's get into it.
The idea that it is now blacks versus immigrants is playing right into the hands of those that created this narrative. In a country that was built by immigrants or descendants of immigrants, it blows my mind how we have such a problem with ourselves. It's almost a definition of self-hating. If you're not native, you are an immigrant. I don't care if you came here peacefully or if you came here as a murderous settler, you are an immigrant. The problem isn't with immigrants. The problem is with the handful of corporations that control all the wealth and power in this country. The problem isn't immigrants taking black jobs or anyone else's jobs. It's these corporations buying our politicians, shaping policies and labor laws that allow them to hoard money while paying their employees pennies. Immigrants are not the reason why wages have barely moved since the 1970s, despite worker productivity skyrocketing. Immigrants are not the reason why the minimum wage hasn't been raised since 2009, while CEOs are pocketing salaries hundreds of times greater than their employees. Corporations prioritize profits over people, plain and simple. The idea that immigrants are taking jobs is just the power structure doing what the power structure does: divide and conquer.
So everything in his video is definitely true. There has been a lot going on this week in the United States, particularly talking about and focusing around black immigrants. Trump and Harris debated last week, and Trump had this to say about immigrants living in Springfield, Ohio.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cat.
Now, one should see this and be able to say to themselves that the comment was preposterous, number one, and that it was xenophobic, number two. However, there are some Americans, when it comes to xenophobia, they pretty much participate in that type of attitude because they honestly think that immigrants have some type of negative effect on the country of America and the culture of America. What xenophobia tends to do is that it tends to deflect people from the real issues of what really is happening. People are sitting here talking about immigrants in the United States of America, talking about immigrants are taking the jobs, which is the same narrative that has always played out when immigrants are involved. And that deflects from the real issues that's happening in the United States of America. That's exactly what it's doing, so that you don't sit and really look at what is really going on and how to tackle these issues. Considering as much stuff that's happening in the black community, and we want to focus our attention on black immigrants, is crazy to me. But it is not a secret that there is definitely a tension between these two groups of people, because people are continuously getting into the black community and getting into some black people's head that is the immigrants for the reason why your neighborhoods are failing. That is the immigrants the reason why you can't get a job. It is the immigrants the reason why you can't find, you can't make enough money. And that's where we should get as black people in the black community. We got to go beyond that. It is not immigrants for the reason why there are some schools in the United States that the students are sitting there with no adequate books or no textbooks, that they're sitting there with no Wi-Fi, that they're sitting there without the required technology, without access to technology to use for class assignments. It is not the immigrants that is causing teachers to not be paid a lot of money, to have to be able to not only teach but work in 2 to 3 jobs. That's not immigrants doing that. It is not the immigrants that is keeping people from getting enough money to take care of themselves and their families. That is not the immigrants doing that. If you're working at a job and you're not getting paid hardly any money, that is not immigrants doing that. It is not the immigrants that is causing you to spend either money for groceries, money for rent, or to be able to take care of yourself in the hospital or be able to go to the doctor. That's not the immigrants that are keeping you from being able to go to the hospital because you can't pay the hospital bills. That's not immigrants doing that to you. The people that are high up, the politicians, the corporations, they're the ones getting rich and rich and rich and rich, while everybody else is getting poor and poor and poor and poor. And they are the ones sitting high and mighty up there, while we sitting down here, while y'all sitting here arguing over some immigrants, they sitting over there continuously getting a hefty paycheck, sitting in over there, sailing on their big yachts, sitting over there, going to their secluded homes wherever they want to go to. That's what they doing. They're not participating in all that. Like, do y'all see how that just doesn't make any sense? And it's crazy for you to be going on and on about a situation that is not even the whole issue. The whole point of spreading xenophobia then, during the 1920s, and them continuously spreading the xenophobia, which is what they're doing now, is to keep you from focusing on the bigger picture. There are people out there who are literally struggling. They have absolutely nothing. And I'll tell you right now, there's some immigrants that's standing right along with them that don't have anything either. Don't have a job, don't have a place to stay. They're also suffering. So, people really need to read up on things, because some people have this belief that immigrants are coming to the United States just getting all this free stuff and getting this good stuff. And it's just like, I know there's some immigrants wondering where are the free stuff at, because they don't remember getting any of that. When I talked to my husband, I don't remember him saying anything about them getting free anything. He was working at fast food restaurants to be able to go to school. Him and his family, him and his siblings were working at fast food restaurants. They were not sitting high up into a mansion somewhere doing absolutely nothing. They all were working when they came to the United States of America. So I don't really know what free stuff that people keep talking about, but I can tell you right now, him and his family, they didn't have free nothing. They worked for everything they had in order for them to get where they needed to go in life. And if you talk to any immigrant, they would tell you they're having a difficult time, a lot of them, in the United States of America, because not only do they have to assimilate to the culture, they're going to also have to be able to work somewhere to make enough money to take care of themselves. A lot of them probably are sending money back home, helping people back home. So that's also money that's not going to them personally in the United States. I mean, taking away from the bigger issue is exactly what this whole situation with immigration, with the immigrants right now. I mean, there are a lot of issues and problems going on in the United States of America, and what they want you to do is not concentrate on the real issues that's really affecting you. And so they start to then put these different things in place so that you can focus on that and make that be where your focus is, and then you'll forget about the 5 or 6 other issues that definitely would trump that small issue that they're trying to put in place to get you off your trail. It's a crazy situation. So yeah, that's all I have to say on that issue. I am Michele Mazelleغ. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.